Welcome back to the Plus Side of Nashville. My guest is Daniel Jones. He's the co-founder and producing artistic director for Kindling Arts Nashville. And Kindling Arts Nashville is a unique launching pad for artists with original and innovative ideas that don't fit within the traditional performing art parameters. And Daniel, before the break, we were talking about just the fact that you're going to be all over the place, all over the community, presenting these wonderful performances. Talk a little bit about just how you've been able to bring together nonprofits and businesses, and also being excited about what you're doing.
Yeah, this has been an immense work in progress, of course, as time has gone on. But from the very beginning, we sort of approached people that we thought might be willing to play ball. And that started in Wedgwood, Houston, originally, for our first 2 years. We had our first 2 in-person festivals down there. A great venue, Track One, was a very generous host to us. And so they had some really innovative spaces, and we had made a theatrical work in there before. And that gave us an anchor, and then we were able to kind of go out from there. And we did partner with Flamingo Cocktail Club, who totally was willing to take the bait on what happens if we put an immersive dance piece into your space that people are dragged into different corners and outside and inside. So that was happening. We crossed the street and went to the now defunct RIP Royal Circus, which was a furniture store where they let us stage a play that was written to be staged in a furniture store. I mean, it was kind of amazing. It was like, what happens if we write something site specifically? And then, of course, now that we're on the West Side, Oz Arts Nashville has been such a generous host for us. We have a great working relationship with them, and they want to support what we're doing because it helps benefit our overall arts landscape.
Yes.
And hopefully, eventually, some of our artists, as we've seen, will have a chance to be at Oz as well in their programming. So that has been a great relationship to work out. Nashville School for the Aerial Arts was just so wonderful about opening up its doors and saying, okay, we don't know how to do a live performance, but we're going to try it with you. And that was such a successful experience last year, so we're excited to do that again. And in general, these other venues like Ozari Events has been a gracious host for us as well. This is the second time we've partnered with them, and it started out just as kind of you're a venue in the area that we're looking at. How can we work with you? They have given us support in terms of giving us a reasonable rate to work with their space, and sort of the trust to see what happens when we work in their space. And we're really grateful for that as well. And we've been able to make some of those other relationships. We recently did a piece at the Blue Room, which is the venue connected to Third Man Record Store. And they also were just incredible hosts for us. It was a piece called The Naughty Tree. It was a total outlandish experience where we said, hey, we have this queer retelling of the Garden of Eden that's kind of a rock musical cabaret thing, and we're gonna build a runway in your space and stage it like a fashion show. And they totally went with it. Their texts were incredible. And time again, I think we're finding that when people experience the work, they really want to support what's going on, and they realize why it's so important to local artists.
So you all actually bring in, I guess, everything, the lighting, the microphones, the runways. And they're totally open to letting you do that.
Some places are, yeah. I mean, it is a chance of who's going to take a risk with us. I mean, everything we do is a risk, and so who is going to come alongside us to partner with that? But we've been so lucky and so blessed, truly.
Absolutely. Do you need volunteers? Because this festival is like, it's huge. I think you told me there's like 22 different performances going to be going on for 4 days.
Yeah, essentially, and 5 venues that are running simultaneously.
Oh,
so yes is the short answer.
So you do need volunteers.
Absolutely, and we have roles that can fit all sorts of different kinds of people. If you are someone who is mechanically inclined or technically inclined and you want to help us plug in lights and hang things and install the signage and things like that, we have a role for you. If you're someone who's like, I can sit behind a computer and click buttons and check people in, boy, do we have a role for you. If you're someone who really enjoys the care and feeding of a creative community, we would love to have someone who comes alongside to help us do hospitality and like bringing dinner to a tech where people are sitting in the dark for 8 hours. That would be a huge gift to artists. So there's all sorts of ways that as a community we can come around and support these artists.
Absolutely. Well, we got to take a break again, but we'll be back with more on the Kindling Arts Nashville Festival. Stay